We're going to take a look at another database. This one is called Academic One File. To get there, you're at the library webpage. Go ahead and again, click on Library Research. And scroll down and again, click on the Article and Research Databases. And as you can see, particularly the alphabetical listing, there are so many databases that we subscribe to. And these are, as you know, subscription databases, so we pay money. And so when you're at home, you're going to be prompted to put in your W number without the W and your 6-digit birth date to have access to the databases. So here's Academic One File, and we're going to work with this one first. And go ahead and click on Academic One. And here's Academic One File. Now it's put out by a publisher called Gale, and that really probably doesn't mean much to you. However, we have bought many Gale databases. Academic One is just one of their databases. And so what will happen for you is it makes it much easier because they use the same format. Go ahead and click on My Library Links real quick. And what happened is way over here in red are the Gale databases that we subscribe to. And if you click on that, there will be an alphabetical listing of the ones we have. Oh, and I'm just not a little bit off screen. What you can do is you can go through the 30 or 40 listed here and do what's known as a power search. So you might, if you were doing a topic that was psychological in nature, let's say you want to investigate bulimia, you would not only use a medical database, possibly, if you wanted to have the medical references to that disease. You may want to look at the psychology collection, which will give you psychological articles on the topic. So you can click on many of the databases to be able to do what's known as a power search. I'm going to click on the back key. So we're back at this page. So just know that that's up there. Now, this defaults to a keyword search, and keyword searches are what you do when you Google. Everything you do is a keyword search. It's not done by the subject searches, though you have that option to do so in a database. So we're going to come up here and we're going to do a search. And let's see, what shall we do? Let's do global warming, because the governor was talking today about how California is going to be on the forefront of that. Like Google, it comes up with some suggestions trying to figure out what it is that you're really looking to find information on. Some of us pay attention to that, some of us don't. So I'm going to come over here and act like I didn't notice and just hit the magnifying glass. Here's my retrieval. Now it's broken up into several different ways. Here we have the academic journals. Academic journals are those written by professional people in a particular field, and their intended audience are other people in that field, so they're not written for you and me. We can certainly read them, and some of you may even understand them. When it comes to the science journals, I'm always lost. When you're done with academic journals, then you have the option to choose magazines, and magazines are written for you and me. No expertise needed. Books, there might be some books here. These happen to be from this one. The first one is from the Gale Encyclopedia of Science, a beautiful set. Newspaper articles or bulletins. We have images, videos. Many of the videos will be also TV shows. And the audio is often NPR, National Public Radio, that will be doing some in-depth research on this. You can also make sure that you can customize your date. You can look at items from the past week, the past month, the past year, or do a customized date range where you put in your hand-picked dates. I'm going to come back up here to academic journals. When you're at home, this little filter called full text is probably not going to be clicked. So you're going to want to click that because everything you want to see, you want to actually have access to. If I unclick it, look what happens to the academic journals. We went from 7,000 to 21,000. Still, you don't want to read 7,000 journals, my guess is. This also sorts by the newest, so we are looking at the most recent published. And if you come over here, look at this one, December 2015, and it's only October. But we know that world of publishing, they do that. You can change this and swap it to be relevance, and it'll rearrange them. You can look at the oldest. Who knows, maybe you want to do that. And then here are the articles listed. So let's go ahead and open up the magazines and make sure it's full text. And I'm going to change this to be relevance. And now I'm going to take a look at some of these articles. Here's one, What Happened to Global Warming? Here's my author. It's in Mother Earth News. This happens to be an interview. I have the option to do a PDF, and PDF, I'm not going to do it now, but if you click on PDF, you'll see the actual journal article scanned for you. But go ahead and click on the title so you can bring up the HTML format. So here's our article here. The words you've typed in will appear in red. This has a publication information. This would tell you who wrote it, what the name of the journal is, the date, and what page it's on. Close that up. You also have the option to listen to this, so it will read it to you. If you click on related subjects, they will give you other terms that are relevant to this particular article. It turns out global warming, if I click on this, it will take me to a subject search. And subject searches are much more specific. Let's see if you can see that. Academic journals limited to full text. And by having it as a subject instead of just words, I don't know if you remember, but academic journals full text was 7,000 something. By searching it by a subject where it's totally indexed that way, I'm down to 2,000. I'm just going to go back to our magazines. Now, if I like this and I use it, I'm going to need to cite it. And there's a toolbox over here that allows you to look at citations. You can email it, download it, print it. And we're going to click on Citation Tool. And there's your MLA format. You do not need any of this URL stuff when you do it. And this should be indented on the second line, but it's not. But still, everything else about it is just perfect. And there's your cut and paste for your citation. I'm going to go back to the search results. And back again, and back again, and back again. Boy, we sure did look at a lot, didn't we? Whoops, I went too far. What I want you to do is take a look at subject guide. Type in subject guide. This is what it'll look like. I'm going to put in global warming. And again, they come up with some suggestions for you. So it turns out it is a subject heading. If it wasn't, it would tell me to see what they do use. Subdivisions will just break it down into another level of indexing and then tell you how many articles there are on it. Related subjects will give you other suggestions, and sometimes the terms will be broader, sometimes they'll be related, and sometimes they'll be more specific. And everything is hypertext, so you can move around with this in relative ease. And remember that you always want to limit things to full text. If you were working on your doctoral thesis, we wouldn't click that box. But when you're just doing some paper or collecting some information, anything more than 10 articles is more than enough, isn't it? Okay, that's a quick view of Academic 1. And remember, up here in the Gale databases, you have just learned to use about 40 different databases.